image will come. Hello students, as we have finished our first lesson, Mary and the Mouse. Today, let us start with a new poem, A House. So students, let's get set to read our new poem. Read this poem with me aloud. Reading helps us to improve our reading skills. So let us read our new poem, A House. Here is a nest for the sparrow. Here is a hive for the bee. Here is a hole for the bunny, and here is a house for me. A nest is a house for a sparrow. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a bunny, but a house is a house for me.
Here is a nest for the sparrow. Here is a hive for the bee. Here is a hole for the bunny, and here is a house for me. A nest is a house for a sparrow. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a bunny, but a house is a house for me.
Students, as I have read this poem to you, A House, now I will explain to you this poem. Students, what is this? This is a nest. Who lives in this nest? A sparrow or a bird? So nest is a house of a sparrow. Nest is made of twigs and grass. So nest is a house for a sparrow. What is this? This is a honey bee. Where do honey bee live? They live in a hive. The honey bee sucks the nectar from the flower and takes it to his hive and puts it in the honeycombs. So we get honey. Honey is medicinal. It is very good for cold. So honey bee lives in the hive. What is this? This is a rabbit. We can also call it a bunny. What is this? This is a hole. Who lives in this hole? A rabbit lives in a hole. A bunny lives in a hole. So the bunny's house is a hole. Rabbit likes to eat carrots and green leaves. So the rabbit or bunny lives in a hole. The house of the rabbit or bunny is hole. What is this? This is a house. All human being lives in a house. Our grandparents, our father, our mother, and children live in a house. We form a family. We live in a house together in unity. So students, Every person lives in a family. Human being lives in a house with our family. Grandparents, mommy, daddy, and children. So, every person lives in a house. So, students, you can also sing this poem, A House. I will sing to you this poem. Here is a nest for the sparrow. Here is a hive for the bee. Here is a hole for the bunny. And here is a house for me. A nest is a house for a sparrow. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a bunny. But a house is a house for me. Here is a nest for the sparrow. Here is a hive for the bee. Here is a hole for the bunny. And here is a house for me. A nest is a house for a sparrow. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a bunny. But a house is a house for me. But a house is a house for me. So, students, let us read this poem 2 times. Students, you can also write this poem on your notebook, English notebook. You can Xerox these pictures and stick it on your notebook. First, you have to write the poem and stick the house of the sparrow, the house of the honeybee, the house of the bunny, and the house of the girl. You have to stick on your notebook, Xerox and stick, and you have to write the poem on your English notebook. The name of the poem is A House. Bye. Study well.